And the title of Lady Freedom's video is "This Normal to Any of You?" Being the first video cut off here, and we're going to pick right up where we left off.
So, no, I'm not going to give out a flyer for Summer Wells because there's nothing that Sheriff Craddock or Brandon Carter can do. Now, the TBI, yes, if we were at the TBI headquarters, there would be a lot of kids that we could say are still missing, right? Like, we could go in there and say, Layla Santinello is still missing. You know? I'm sorry, Jen in Georgia. I know, I'm always on late. But, I was going to go on earlier today, but I was on with Jen. And I'm glad I was, you know, because it's just, I'm glad I have that understanding now. Because, again, when I speak to, when I've spoken to Seth, he doesn't talk about stuff like this. You know, we talk about finding his son. And again, for him to be expected to, or any of us expected to, because I take this to me, you know, this, I'm a creator, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a true crime person. I don't consider myself an influencer. If I was doing my makeup and showing you my outfits, then maybe I would be influencing your decisions on that. But I just look at myself as somebody who likes true crime. Thank you, MST. And, oh, thank you, Jen. And, you know, I want to bring you the facts. I want to talk about subjects that are interesting to me. And I just didn't realize how bad this.
Well, Lady Freedom, picking up from your narrative, which you're reading from my Facebook page, the comment states or suggests that as YouTubers, influencers, or creators are traveling to Tennessee, would you please post a flyer of Summer Wells or Fritz, two other children missing from Tennessee? Or you could have placed up any missing persons flyer, okay? Nothing was stated about the gathering. So, you say that you're a person that likes to put in facts. Make sure you include that fact in your narrative of what I exactly state.
Because, guys, I'm only going to show you the last 2 days of her posts, but it's absolutely crazy the way that she's gone after Seth. And then she lost in the lawsuit, and she's continued on. And I don't know.
I did not lose the lawsuit. Mr. Rogers' attorney and I agreed to have it dismissed without prejudice. Therefore, it was not dismissed with prejudice. So at any time, I can bring another lawsuit with the same facts or with new additional factors.
It's quite disturbing. So again, she posts, and she does multiple posts a day, right? I mean, there's times where I might repost people's stuff, and you might see like 4 in a row from me or something like that if I'm quick scrolling through, and I'm like, oh, I like what Smiley said. Oh, that's cool. Or, hey, I'm going to go ahead and share what Kiki wrote. Or, you know, Jen posted something interesting. I'm going to share it, right? Some days I go through and I'm like, wow, YouTube is really busy. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. I want to share it. Other days I don't share as much, right? Because I'm doing my own thing and working on my own content. Some days I don't get a break to go scroll through. So I'm not always going to be posting. But this lady, I don't know, maybe she's got a second person that helps her, because I can't keep up with posting and posting here and posting this and posting over here. I can't. I'm never going to do that. I don't know how these people do it. Okay, so then we have her over here. Has your efforts been directed towards finding me, Sebastian? And it's the eye of the tiger. Does financial gain take precedence over personal relationships? What does that mean? She's directing that towards Seth's son. I mean to tell you.
Hey, Meta. Play gorgeous. Thank you.
This can be one of the best jobs in the world, and this can be one of the most challenging jobs in the world. If you understand the principles of how the job works,
I'd be livid. Has your efforts been directed towards finding me, Sebastian? What a fucking creep. What a fucking creep. And as a matter of fact, I think this needs to be sent to law enforcement. I honestly do. Because this lady is so vocal and crazy that I thought she was going to come out and say, no, that wasn't me. I'm not the green hoodie. Right? Well, little did I know that Chris and Miss Bowersox and everything were so heavily involved in this whole situation. Right? And then Katie wasn't there. So what happened to Katie?
First of all, your continuous reference to me being green hoodie over and over again in relation to other YouTubers, where are your receipts? Where is the proof? As for my comment and being vocal on my own channel, I can do that. That channel is mine. As for law enforcement, please send it over to them. But I guarantee you that law enforcement is well aware of my postings. You don't have to worry about that. And let me make one thing clear. Sebastian is not Seth. That particular post is talking in reference to Sebastian, not Seth Rogers, not Katie Proudfoot, and not Chris Proudfoot, the guardians of Sebastian. It's just discussing Sebastian, period. Freedom of speech.
But I mean to tell you, if I was Katie and this woman was writing stuff about this to Sebastian, I'd be highly concerned if I was her. And I don't even know what financial gain. So she's saying that financial gain takes precedence over personal relationships. That makes no sense. You are wacky. All right. This was also 2 days ago, right? She's doing this.
Okay, so let's have an understanding. So this video so far, she is twice called me unhinged, once called me a lunatic, once called me crazy, and then she refers to me as being in the circus. All right, next.
Rapid, manic posting, in my opinion. Absolutely crazy. As the week of February 22nd through February 27th, 2026 approaches, please consider where the associates of Mr. Seth Rogers may congregate near the Sumner County Sheriff's Department. Well, let's see. There's not a whole lot of places right down the road that you can congregate. There's across the street and there's an area out front. So, I mean, the obvious place would be where Seth was before, right? And I'll take this down right quick so you can see it. But that's where he was, in front of the sheriff's department. And then Jeff was down on this corner of the street, holding the sign out for people.
She's referring to the picture on the
side.
On the right-hand side of the
little
thumbnail.
Sheriff's office where nothing is going on. Nothing at all. I mean, yes, these are all vehicles that belong to the people who are working in the sheriff's department. You can see the parking signs right here. Right? And then there's a parking lot over on the other side. But down this road here, it's all right in front of the sheriff's department. So that's where it's going to be held, right? But why is she taking a picture of the area where we're holding a gathering of voices?
Choosing an electricity plan can feel complicated. Constellation keeps it clear. Fixed rate plans, straight.
I mean,
Well, to answer your question, the sheriff's department is a public place. I don't see you out front there. I don't see anyone in front of that police department or sheriff's department right now in that picture I posted. Are you trying to tell me as an American, as a individual, that I don't have the right to take a picture of a public place? What is it any of your business why I have a picture of Sumner County Sheriff's Department? It is none of your business. It's none of your concern.
really know what to make of that at all. It doesn't make any sense. None of this does. And then she says like this: given the diverse group of individuals associated with the upcoming activity, what is a diverse individual? Is that a racist undertone? Is that a socioeconomic blow or dig? What is that? Because in my opinion, that's a strange thing to say, diverse group. Yeah, Seth doesn't care who comes to support and look for his son. That's just a given, right? That's just a given. Tully fell asleep. I don't know, Tully. I'm second guessing it because of her comments and her post. I think she resembles in her face, her height, everything could match, and that's allegedly, in my opinion. Yes, Hope Floats is on Facebook. Yeah, but she also posts things to YouTube as well. So, and she also likes to go on, the different panels and talk. I know.
Once again, go on different panels. Sorry, Lady Freedom. Queen Bees. That's it. That's the only panel I've ever been on. The only panel I've ever spoken on. So, in the original first video, Tony Mathis states the same thing. Same narrative. She hops channels. That is a lie. So, let's go back to the original quote, by Tony Mathis, supported by Seth Rogers, that we will teach Texanna Fernandez a lesson by every means. So far, in the last 4 sentences spoken, they go back to calling me Green Hoodie, allegedly in her opinion. So, we have that again. Then her statement, 6 sentences ago, is this. What does diverse group mean? Seth would welcome anyone. Well, tell me, would he welcome individuals that he considers part of the dark side? Is it an open door, an open policy for everyone to be welcomed? Could Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot have attended that event without dominance and negativity from any other creator? No, they couldn't have.
Granny's watching was definitely liking her post back when I first looked at her one of her posts came across my feed, and I'm like, I don't know who this Texanna Fernandez is, and I saw Sebastian's picture, so I clicked onto it, because usually when people make something for Sebastian, I share it on my channel because it's usually something nice. And so I give people, when people make something like a thumbnail or, a flyer or something for Sebastian, I share it, or sometimes I'll put it in my videos.
Settling for irritating bladder protection? Ditch the itch with Tenna's skin-friendly barrier, infused with aloe and vitamin.
Right? I have one that Smiley made, the one that says, please find me. I found it today in my phone. It's still in there, right? It's Sebastian, and, it says, please find me. And I always loved that. I thought it was really beautiful that she made that for him, and I put it in my video. But anyway, I looked at what she had to say, and then you have Granny's watching under it, and she's talking all of this crap, weird shit like she was in the previous post that I just read. Calling Sebastian by name, are you looking for me? Oh my God. Gross. It's enough to make someone sick.
So, we're not supposed to refer to a missing teenager by his name. We're not supposed to call him by his name, Sebastian. Interesting, Lady Freedom.
She has the nerve to tell other people they're diverse. And the upcoming activity is a gathering of voices for Sebastian. Respect for public service vehicles and local residents is appreciated. Okay. What does that have to do with anything? All of us are driving cars there. So what are we going to do to other people's cars if our cars are sitting there, right? I think it's appreciated if the Foot Clan doesn't slash any tires while they're there, right? Or while we're there, more like it. Because they like to do that, allegedly, that I've heard other people say that they had their tires slashed.
There again. Where's the proof? Why are you accusing the opposing party of slicing tires without receipts? Defamation, hearsay, slander, again. But by any means, we will teach a lesson, of course.
Instead of purchasing a cake for the sheriff's department, consider using the funds to buy additional Sebastian Rogers flyers for distribution at the event. Well, Texanna, we have that all taken care of. We have plenty of flyers for the event. Why don't you worry about yourself and not so much about the gathering of voices? Because that's the main problem here, is that you are inserting yourself where you're not welcome. It's kind of like when somebody has a party and you were not invited, but this time it's for a missing child. So grow up and find something better to do. Again, that is going to be a common theme tonight, because I think that you need to hear that from someone in case no one has told you that. With multiple activities taking place.
Well, Lady Freedom, let's get something clear. You just stated that Mr. Rogers will welcome anyone. But I didn't personally have an invitation. So therefore, I wasn't welcome. So you contradicted yourself right there in plain English. Not everyone would be welcome. So which is it? Which is the truth? Everyone is welcome? Or just the team? Those with the respect of naming a missing child in a post on their own channel by calling him by his name, Sebastian, with no reference to his guardians. That is wrong. That is not wrong. And I do not have to explain every one of my posts to you because they are on my page and it is my post. And I do not have to tell you who it's directed to because you know why? It's none of your business.
Central Tennessee during this week. Okay, I have no idea what activities you're talking about. Maybe you should hit one of those up and not worry about our event that we're holding. That might help. She says, please prioritize caution and safety at all times. I look at this as a threat by this crazy individual who is completely unhinged and possibly has single white female syndrome for Bullhorn Betty. Okay? Please prioritize caution. Why don't you prioritize your ass being somewhere far, far away from our event? How's that? Okay, so here she is again 2 days ago, as if she didn't have enough posts, as if she didn't have enough to say. So let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Sorry, guys. Next time I'll put it in a... I wanted you guys to be able to at least see it a little bit better. All right. Whoop. There we go. All right. Dear Mr. Seth Rogers, this is 2 days ago. Litigation wrapped up. I mean, she is a Looney Tune. Oh my goodness, Detroit. Complete loon. I mean, belongs in a nut hut kind of a thing, in my opinion. I can just see.
Okay, so here we go. 5 times unhinged in this video. 2 crazy, 1 lunatic. And now I belong in a nut house, and she doesn't like the fact that I call Sebastian by name. 6 times she's referred to me as a green hoodie. And then she contradicts herself about being welcome, not being welcome. She goes on for 23 to 27 minutes that it's inappropriate to ask people traveling to Tennessee to possibly think about posting flyers when you're coming from Florida all the way to Tennessee. You have to go through Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. What would it hurt when you stopped to get gas to post flyers of missing individuals? Not a damn thing.
The drama that she brings everywhere she goes. Right? Dear Mr. Seth Rogers, I would like to extend sincere gratitude for your involvement in Sumner County and respectfully suggest that you may wish to utilize the upcoming event in front of Sumner County Sheriff's Department to raise awareness about other missing American persons. Texanna, step the fuck off already. This is 3 posts, guys, all in one day. Post after post after post about Sebastian, about the gathering of voices, directly talking to Seth now. Texanna, Canna. Oh my goodness. YouTuber, I am like completely floored. Dark triad alert. We got a dark triad here, guys. We don't allow those here. But that's exactly what it boils down to, little Miss Sharon. I agree. I mean, just someone that cannot stop themselves. I don't think she can almost help herself. Posting after post after post, and no one.
At Cognition, what we've always focused on is trying to solve for the messiness of software engineering of the real world. By getting to work with Anthropic, we've been able to.
Pays any mind. See this? No likes. Nobody shared it. Nobody hearted it. Nobody commented on any of this fucking shit, because it's so deranged, and it's like entering the fucking cuckoo's nest, right? Absolutely fueled by hate, absolutely fueled by stalking, harassing, and just fueling the fire. Right? But she's not getting the outcomes that she wants, so she keeps on and on. Right? So, I mean, Tully says I might have to drive back. In my opinion, that was the first thing that came to mind. Yeah, I mean, and to expect Seth and to hound him over and over and over about other people's missing children, other missing people in America. It's none of her business. Like, she needs to back.
Well, let's consider you showed 3 posts. Only one of them was written directly to Mr. Rogers. The other 2 were not written to Mr. Rogers. So actually, there was only 1 post addressed to Mr. Rogers. The other 2 were addressed to someone else. So let's be truthful. Let's not just consume the whole video with the fact that only 1 post was made addressing him. And there was no threats in this post. There was no threats, no slander, no defamation, nothing. A request.
All the way off. Because there's no reason for it, She does seem fixated on Seth, Brenda. She seems fixated on Seth, crazy and scary. And, it is highly disturbing, in my opinion. It's concerning. I think law enforcement needs to know that she'll be in the area, right? If they don't already know that. Hopefully they do. But it's strange. It's strange. So, let's keep going. Thank you for considering this opportunity. Okay. And by the way, I don't know that if Seth has a Facebook page, but if you do not use certain ways, and I'm not going to tell you how to do it crazy, okay? This is not This is Darvo traits. This is not, your opportunity to learn how to do it correctly. But if you're trying to get someone's attention on Facebook, you have to tag them in the post.
When heartburn hits, reach for Tums and love food back. Tums.
Did you know golf courses use more water each year than data centers? And many new data centers.
Either way, our collective efforts should prioritize the well-being of all missing individuals. That's not the point of the gathering of voices. It's about Sebastian. It's going to stay about Sebastian. And you're going to need to get over it. Hello, Glenn. You're going to have to get over it. And I would just recommend you move on, and not to anybody who has a missing child. You're very creepy and off-putting. You don't know how to read the room, and it's disturbing. Okay. Now we're finally on the next day. So we have 12 hours ago. So she says, it seems that law enforcement clarification is not integrated into the talking points presented by police department's voice in the post. That makes no sense whatsoever, right? So law enforcement's clarification is not integrated. Well, I think it looks like it's integrated enough, because I'm going to read it to y'all. And it's saying that they found out who the green hoodie is, but your clarification is lacking, ma'am. And I've asked you a question, a couple of them. How do you know the Proud Feet, right? I'm not even asking you to explain why you're so nutty and why you won't leave Seth alone. I'm asking you to explain your whereabouts and if you're the green hoodie, because you certainly resemble that person. Law enforcement was clear that green hoodie is not a man. She is, in fact, a female, and I think she resembles you, in my opinion. If somebody thought that I resembled someone else, I would say, no, that's not me, right? I would just say it. I would say, look, that's not me. I wasn't involved, right? And see, nobody knows who this lady is. MST's like, who is this lady, right? She is a lady who has been trying to sue Seth since the vigil that they had for Sebastian's rescue ride. So when they did the Sebastian's rescue ride, she showed up and tried to film the event, and they had asked her to wait until the prayer was over with. And she didn't want to do it, MST, and so
Here's the whole situation. Number one, I don't have to tell you anything. Number two, I don't owe you any recognition as to my whereabouts anytime. Number three, it's none of your business if I know Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot or the Bowersocks. None of it is any of your business. Number four, you are absolutely correct. Sumner County Sheriff's Department cleared Green Hoodie. I owe you nothing, Lady Freedom. So, let's continue.
I just sue Seth for $25,000, right? And I'm doing the Dr. Evil, with my pinky finger, because, that's like an extravagant amount of money to ask from Seth to begin with.
All right, let's go back to her fourth statement or fourth sentence prior to what she's commenting about now. It was a public vigil, a public event on August 24th, 2024. All right, public. It was open to the public. The case was not lost, and I did not sue Mr. Rogers for $25,000. Read the docket.
His life has been turned upside down and his son is still missing, but let's try to sue him for $25,000. Like, she is absolutely outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Yeah, I know. Well, she put her teeth in today so she could show me that she does have, that she does wear her teeth when she's out, because a lot of times she just doesn't wear her teeth out. I've seen a lot of times where she has it, and that's good. I'm glad to know that she's got teeth. I mean, if you're going to hang out with Chris, he likes corn on the cob, So she says like this. She says, your team also indicated that the mayor and authorities should be contacted for clarity, which shows a similar disparity. Okay. I have no idea who she's talking to. I'm assuming it's me because I did create this comparison in order to see what you all thought about it.
You're absolutely correct. That sentence was directed towards you because you asked a question, and I was responding to your question. You asked, should you contact the mayor's office or the sheriff's office for further clarity of what to expect when you all gathered there? I mean, if you're going to ask a question on a live, do you not expect a response from someone who has viewed your live? So, that's not out of line. That is answering your question. You're absolutely correct. That was directed towards you, Lady Freedom.
I don't have a team. I'm Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives. Lady Freedom is one person. That's me. My name is Trisha. And I have a YouTube channel where I have people who do send me information, but I don't have a team per se. I run my own channel, right? This isn't all a conspiracy, weird shit that you put up on your pages and my whole gang's coming and then you end up showing up by yourself, ma'am, respectfully. But you still cause a whole load of shit just all on your own, apparently. From all accounts, you've acted a damn fool. So she says the statements made about inappropriate actions while suggesting and seeking clarification from authorities proves clarity.
The annual trip with friends happens every summer with Expedia. The debate, vacation home, or hotel. Wait, what if they could do both?
Provides clarity and a heads up for Sumner County authorities. Well, good. I hope they do have a heads up. I hope you let them know you're coming so they can go take a look-see at your Facebook page where you act like a damn fool. Right? Yeah, Chuchi, all of a sudden I have a conference room full of people here that are running my YouTube channel for me. I guess I'm the president. We got a vice president. We got a treasurer, right? We hold monthly meetings. No. I'm a creator. I create videos. I'll show you guys things that I find, online, or we review interviews, or we do slow jam in the news, right? Things like that over here. Just a YouTube channel, right? But she never once says I'm not the green hoodie. Never once. She just goes on this incoherent ramble. So she says the casual interaction was not part of the post. Really? The casual interaction, huh? Is that what you call it when you were waiting for Katie by the car, allegedly? A casual interaction, ma'am? Yes, the Proudfoot's henchman, Sam. Sure is. you know?
Are you referring to the restaurant? Do you have receipts from Katie Proudfoot that she met me at the restaurant? Would you like to show me those receipts? Do you have a statement from the sheriff's department that I met Miss Proudfoot at the restaurant? What date are you referring to? Tell me. I like to know.
Sure. Oh. And this is when you deal with crazy people, you kind of feel a little nutty yourself. So she says the casual interaction was not part of the post, right? Regarding regulations. Sorry, excuse me. She says proactively seeking clarity from authorities regarding regulations was prioritized. The clarity obtained was indeed straightforward. Well, let's take a look at it. And by the way, she never said no. All right, so this is when Sumner County Sheriff's Office released to their Facebook page. I mean, it was months ago. I believe I do have the one that has the date on it. I just had to pull this. You know, I had to pull this in.
If you have a crack like this, well, you have a problem. Today I'm learning how a cracked wall might mean your foundation is sinking. It all
From a different place because I had to get it quick, fast, and in a hurry to make this. So we want to address the recent speculation surrounding the individual seen wearing a green hoodie near Texas Roadhouse in relation to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Now, guys, did that sound more coherent? Because, yeah, that's, I think it's Sheriff Craddock writing this, right? And he's good at English and he can actually speak it, right? And convey it in a proper and professional way. I wish he would do it more often, but that was, you know, very straightforward. Nothing, I mean, to read between the lines, he's saying that they're addressing the recent speculation on the green hoodie at the Texas Roadhouse in connection to Sebastian's disappearance, right? It's not all this incoherent rambling. Wow, how refreshing. We understand the community's concern and the desire for answers in this case. I hope so. Today, detectives interviewed the person in question regarding their presence on the night of February 25th, 2024. We can confirm that after a thorough discussion with this individual, there is no evidence linking them to Sebastian's disappearance. Okay? So right here, they say that they made contact, right, with the green hoodie and interviewed them. Detectives did. And they can confirm, after having a thorough discussion with this person, that there wasn't any evidence that linked them to Sebastian's disappearance. Now, that's vastly different than saying the green hoodie person didn't know Katie, the green hoodie person wasn't there to meet Katie. No. They're just saying there's no involvement with Sebastian's disappearance. Well, maybe they're wrong about that. Maybe they did meet with this green hoodie character, right? Maybe they did meet with her, and maybe it was Texanna, in my opinion, right? Yeah, Texanna always has her bandana, but that's because she's got like mad forehead crinkles, right? Wrinkles, and she tries to hide it with the bandana, you know, so that way she doesn't look at.
No, she's not live. Huh? No, she's not live. Well, Lady Freedom, let's have an understanding here. First of all, If you were born in the 60s or 70s, you would know that bandanas were worn as a sign of the times. Has nothing to do with wrinkles or crinkles. In fact, if you live to be my age, you'll be lucky. You're not ashamed of your wrinkles or crinkles or your scars. Number 2, they cleared Green Hoodie. So let me ask you this, Lady Freedom. Why are you participating in stating that I am Green Hoodie over 2 years later? Is that the narrative to continue Tony Mathis' statement? Whatever it takes for Texanna Fernandez to learn a lesson. Is that your narrative? Is that the reason why you're participating in this type of behavior? Are you participating in this to teach Texanna a lesson? Are you carrying that forward over 2 years later? Is that the reason why you're doing this? Just a question.
Old and raggedy. In my opinion, old, moldy, raggedy. Okay. In my opinion, allegedly. So, we appreciate the vigilance and cooperation from the public and all those involved in the search for Sebastian. We encourage everyone to continue providing any pertinent information that could assist in this ongoing investigation. However, we also urge the community to approach social media rumors with caution, as misinformation can distract from the real efforts to find Sebastian. Well, Craddock, I do have to say this, or maybe let me just address the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. You should have had a conversation and made contact with and confirmed that this person had nothing to do with Sebastian's disappearance far before the public ever started speculating on it. You have Green Hoodie, who waits outside the Texas Roadhouse near Katie's vehicle and waits for her to come out. And instead of Katie seeing this person, by her vehicle and not making contact with the person, she makes contact with the person. If she didn't make contact with the person and, she was like, oh, go ahead, ma'am, you can come right through, and didn't walk right up to her, well, then I would think differently. And then you got the Green Hoodie who walks away like, something should have happened that didn't. She's doing, oh, yeah, pushing her hand back at Katie. There was some sort of a commotion. You didn't see that on the cameras? Because we all sure as hell did. You didn't see that? The young man with the blue gloves on who was serving food, the yellow jacket, they turn around because something was going on at Katie's vehicle. They didn't just turn around for no reason. And the way they turned to look was a reaction, more reflexive kind of a look, like something happened and both of them shot a look over and turned. They turned to look at what was going on.
1 in 3 males over 40 experience drips and dribbles. But imagine being this comfortable with it. Hi.
So why was that not something that needed to be checked out in the beginning? Did you even have Texas footage from Texas Roadhouse? Did you even see the interaction between Katie and Sebastian until YouTubers started talking about it? Until At Night released it. So what's going on? So the search for Sebastian Rogers remains our top priority, and we will continue to pursue all leads with the utmost diligence. We ask the continued support and patience from the community as we will be working together to bring Sebastian home. To provide tips, please contact the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Thank you for your understanding and support. Either way, I think that these two paragraphs are super important, right? That they made contact with this person and they confirmed that there is no evidence linking. So the key word is they couldn't find any evidence that would link them, right? So let's try and find out if we can find evidence to link them. Because if this person who is continuously harassing and trying to sue Seth and will not stop posting day after day after day about him trying to get his attention, all of that, that's a pretty big problem, especially if that was a person that was at the Texas Roadhouse that night that Sebastian went missing, in my opinion. And again, a simple no, that's not me would suffice. All right. So this was 11 hours ago. Retrieve past data statements with full accountability and responsibility for all actions, behaviors, threats, slander, mail tampering, lies, video clips, cyberbullying, cyber harassment, verbal assault.
You think it's funny?
ADA violations and elder abuse. Ah! Ah! Okay, and then what she does is she takes Seth's post and she puts it underneath of all that. Blah, blah, blah crap. It says here, guys, this is going to be the most batshit crazy shit. Buckle up. Bring Sebastian home, says Seth. Your dedication, love, and relentless pursuit of the truth means more than words can express. Hashtag Sebastian's Army. Let me be clear, I led this mission. My team reports to me and does not act without communication with me. My team has been my support for a while now, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them. I am here, standing firm, making the decisions that I believe are right for my son. My focus remains where it has and always has been, on finding Sebastian and seeking justice. Hashtag find Sebastian, hashtag keep the faith. Do not be swayed by distractions. Stay strong, stay united, and stay focused. We are making an impact together, right? We are making an impact, and together we will not stop until Sebastian is home. Hashtag Sebastian Strong, with gratitude and determination. What the fuck does that have to do with this crazy ass bitch and her rambling? I ask you to please let me know what you think in the comments. Right? And this might be a night where I'll have to gander back at what you all are saying. Because I have a lot to do. But this is absolutely insane. This right here is absolutely insane. And again, this is the actual post and what Seth wrote, right? And I didn't even know he posted it. You know? She's got forehead crinkles. Forget me not. You know? I hate when those things pop up and you have to buy a bandana. My Lord. Hey, Sparky, good to see you.
Get more control with great tires at great prices. Firestone Complete Auto Care.
I have a son who is turning 18.
Oh, it's 24 or 25 months of this.
I may force him to major in computer science.
This lady is
You know I'm
batty,
live, right?
batty, you know?
You know I'm live, right?
So,
Yep.
this is what Seth wrote, and it's just so heartfelt and nice,
All right.
and, you know, I'm gonna have to go find the post so I can
Good night.
like it, you know? Because that it is so kind of him to, you know, always make us remember that he has gratitude. But really, it's just what normal, good-hearted people would do, because we don't ever want to see other people suffering. We're not like Texanna, who loves to see other people's suffering, you know? To Sebastian's army, I will take a moment to personally thank each and every one of you for standing with me in the fight to bring Sebastian home. Your dedication, love, and relentless pursuit of the truth mean more than words can express. Hashtag Sebastian's army. Let me be clear, I led this mission. My team supports, or excuse me, we do support you. My team reports to me and does not act without communication with me. My team has been my support for a while now, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them. I am here standing firm, making the decisions that I believe are right for my son. My focus remains where it has always been, on finding Sebastian and seeking justice. Hashtag find Sebastian, hashtag keep the faith. And this is perfectly said, in my opinion, by Seth, because that is exactly what I would be doing as a parent, and I think any of us would be, in just trying to find his son, not dealing with the nonsense, right? And then he tells us, don't be swayed by distractions, stay strong, stay united, and stay focused. So I think that is the main message, is to stay strong, stay united, and stay focused. We are making an impact, and together we will not stop until Sebastian is home. Hashtag Sebastian strong, with gratitude and determination. And he makes his promise to us there. Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father. He says that he's going to work just as hard as we are to find his son, because he's so grateful that we are working hard to find his son. You know? And that's the crazy part about all this, is that he's just doing the right thing and what any other parent would do. And then she writes her cockamamie bullshit above it, like, nobody cares what she has to say. I bet you Seth got about 1 billion likes on this post. He's about to get 1,000,001, because that's very kind of him. And this is what she says: retrieve past data statements with full accounts. Crazy ass bitch. How does Tex know the feet? I want to know how you know these people and what you're doing for them, with them, against Seth. Whose child is missing? What is wrong with you, Bandana? How long have you known them? How much are they paying you, allegedly, to do this dirt? Bunch of ass clowns. Yeah, and that's our Sebastian's army lady, just side-eyeing the shit out of you, Texanna, because you ain't right. Get our scope out. I'm going to be bringing...
Did you notice how she waited for a response? She hesitated. That night that she posted this original video, I was actually in the chat, not saying a word, just watching her live. Watching her original live and what they had to say. That's the reason why she hesitated, because she thought I would actually write a message in the chat, which I did not, and I have never, and I never will.
Some binoculars or something. Checking out the rooftops. My Lord. I mean, that's how batshit crazy this lady is. That's why, I'm not kidding you when I tell you anything I've gathered is going to go over to law enforcement so they can see she's droning by your place and saying she's going to come over there. Just so you're aware. I know you probably don't care, but there you go. So, ooh, pizza time. What? Star, I want a piece of pizza. Maybe SF can find Green Hoodie something to do. There we go. That's what we do need. We need somebody to get busy, right? Yeah, maybe she can fly drones with SF, and they can become best buds, and then at least they'd have something better to do than bug us with what we're doing. Like, why would you go somewhere where you're not welcome? Oh my gosh, people couldn't pay me to go someplace I wasn't invited to. And then to act out when I'm there,
But I thought everyone was welcome.
Karen. On Celery tag, she should be Crazy Sister's roommate. Oh no, a bunch of drones. Sam, it's gonna be like the attack of the drones or something. Like, I feel like I need to go get a drone. I feel like I need a drone. Like a really good one too, so that I'd be really jealous of my drone. I'd be like, check me and my drone out. Aw, thank you, NorCal so much for your super chat. She says, look forward to seeing you there in Tennessee at Sumner County Sheriff's Office for the Voices for Sebastian. Oh my gosh, you did so good when you were there. Thank you, the last time. Thank you so much, NorCal I will be so happy to see everybody, We all speak out for Sebastian since his own mama doesn't, in my opinion. And to anyone with ears, eyes, a half a brain, I know, and that's it too. And it just makes so much sense when you hear people out there saying, it's just far too long. Nobody thought it was going to be this long. I think people have said that, in many other places as well, when referring to Sebastian. In his case, and just, wow, I can't believe it's been this long, and it's just very unfortunate. Aw, thank you, Jen in Georgia. You're so sweet. She says, love Lady Freedom and incredibly informative and funny. Thank you. I try to bring light to stuff, Jen had me, I'm going to tell you, I was cracking up. She was like, oh, I'm going to drop the link, and I was just laughing so hard because she was just making me laugh. With her honesty, so thank you so much, Jen in Georgia. And Little Miss Sharon, thank you so much for your $5 super sticker. You guys are so great, and I just always appreciate your support. I have a video that I made for you guys earlier today, and I'm gonna play it at the end here, like when we're about to sign off. But yeah, I just always want to say thank you to you guys, because whether you're a mod, whether you guys watch, or whether you click the thumbs up button or make a comment, just every single little thing that you guys do to support the channel, I'm incredibly grateful. I see it, and I should do more
I listed this on eBay in like 2 seconds and got a really good price.
Find what you love, sell what you don't.
Goodbye.
appreciation for that, because I really do appreciate it, and especially like being a member for 4 months, Jen, I really appreciate that. So you guys are just awesome, and I love what you all bring to the conversation. You're always so smart and just honest, and I appreciate that. It's all about money with selfish and greedy Katie and Chris, and scared and jealous Seth might get $1 more. Then as Katie gave away, that is broadcasting to everyone, Seth has 2 life insurances. I mean, it's crazy. But how do you get a life insurance that was meant to be for, because like that Gerber life plan, one thing that people don't know about that is you could actually the kids can cash that in at a certain age. I don't remember what age it is, but they can cash it in order to use it for like college expenses and stuff. That's one thing that they pitch to parents, you know. And of course you have this brand new beautiful little baby, and you're like, I want everything for them, and you're like, yes, of course I'll do it, you know. But they pitch that to you at the hospital, and it's a good thing. But you can't cash those out if somebody's missing. So I really don't understand why that's such an issue. A pocket full of rocks. Oh my goodness. Drone wars. Oh my gosh. Oh no. You know, Kylie, I just wonder the chaos that the drones can bring, because like they do, some of them fly really low, and I mean, what if you get like bopped by one of them? Now I'm afraid of the drones. Yeah, drones to watch their drones, right? And that's where the wars come in, right? Because you need drones to watch their drones, and then but I think you have to register for drones. See, that's one thing I don't know much about. Oh, I don't know anything about that, Sammy. That's fine. Let them do it. Let them do it. That's the thing that I don't understand about these situations that we find ourselves in Sebastian's case. If they're going to do something, they need to do it on their own stuff and leave everything else alone, you know? They shouldn't be able to encroach on anything that we're doing, as well as we shouldn't encroach on anything they're doing. I could give two shits what they're going to be doing, you know, but for some reason they're so involved in what we're doing over here. And that's the thing that I find concerning, mainly for Seth, because, you know, I'm just learning about this crazy person. She's a nutbag, you know, and for her to go after him day in and day out like that is nuts. Post after post after post, you know. You know, he might be there with his drones. I don't know if they all get along or what. They seem to definitely hate bond. So whoever, you know, and that's just such an odd thing to have in common with somebody, you know? So it just really is. It's very odd. Texanna and her drone army, KJ. Oh my gosh. Another episode of Vampire Strikes Back. Oh no, Empire Strikes Back, right? She's so tiring. I'll tell you what, I've just learned of this person and I'm exhausted. I'm ready for some trivia. How about you guys? Because it's a lot. It's in the incoherent ramblings. Like I'm like, oh, is this supposed to be? Am I supposed to be alarmed by this? Somehow I am, just because the wording is just so out of sorts. Hello, Gigi. Good to see you. You know, it's just out of sorts. And I think they prey upon people who are mentally unstable. Right? Because only someone who is mentally unstable would be okay with a child being abused by their step-parent or talked about by their mother in the way that Katie does. You know, it's just so wrong.
Your reference to me as being mentally unstable is another form of harassment and defamation. And let me remind you from the video number 1, by any means to teach her a lesson.
Well, they're upset about that, and that was $25,000 was the amount, I suppose, that Seth made on the GoFundMe's. But the thing about the GoFundMe is that it's money that you're basically using for flyers, for bracelets, awareness, right? And a lot of that costs money.
Hey, Meta, play gorgeous.
Hey, go get
Thank you.
I got you moving. I got you moving. I got you moving. I got you.
As well. So you're putting it back toward finding Sebastian. And then you have a vehicle. Seth doesn't just live in the same area, you know, and the driving back and forth, the gas. I mean, it's not like, I mean, there's a reason why people set those pretty high is because it takes a lot of money. When you're an hour away from home, you can't just pop back in and at home and fix yourself, you know, a peanut butter and jelly. It's like, sure, you can take the time to pack a lunch, but I mean, who has time to do that when your kid's missing? You go and go and go until you feel like you're going to drop and people have asked you, did you eat today? I mean, that's how bad it is. I remember Pascal in the beginning just being like, hey, make sure you drink enough water, bud. You know, make sure you're staying hydrated. It's absolutely sick to put more stress on this man. How dare they? Really? And how dare she continue on with this? You lost in court, Texanna. Move on. Do something different. Do some good in the world. All you're doing is being obnoxious. And you're making a fool out of yourself. I have this feeling he's the one with the drones in that crazy crowd. I think they all have drones. I think they all have drones. But like, Steve Fisher maybe has the best drone because whenever he comes to town, they take pictures with it. So I don't know. Well, I don't even know that she's grifting Crime Patrol. I think that it's possible, and good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I just think it's possible that she is trying to, you know, avenge for the Proudfoots is what it seems to me. Because why would she care how much Seth made on a GoFundMe, you know? So that's just how it goes with that. No, Gigi, Seth is not jealous at all of anyone. Seth doesn't give a shit about nobody. Gigi, oh, I see what happened. Okay, something happened. Krama goes suck a pencil. Yeah, we don't deal with those people. Oh wait, hold on, Krama. Here, Krama Patrol, you have summoned Dr. Phil.
These are the people that actually are so sick, they feel good about themselves for inflicting pain. And it's something called the dark triad. They have narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. And there's something called Schadenfreude, and it's when joy is derived by someone from another person's misfortune.
Yes.
So it's this dark triad. These are people you don't want to meet in real life. No. They're ugly people, and they will go virtual to real world sometimes. So you've got to be careful.
You're not.
And there's been a lot of actual psychological research into these people. These trolls post inflammatory, off-topic, insincere messages to hurt, provoke others, and they typically hide behind fake names or phony accounts. Yeah. And it's really interesting that their makeup is antisocial and sadistic.
I love that part with the Wayans dad. He's so funny. He's got the troll spray out, spraying it down. No, yeah, go back to the dark triad. Go back to the dark triad. We can't with that, right? You know, catch me outside. How about that? That catch me outside girl, man. She went after Dr. Phil. I think he put her in that at home, and it was a bad deal. You know, that people do get. That's a good point there, Sam. People do think they got to put their kids away and stuff. Dr. Phil be scooping them kids up out of bed at night. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, Dr. Phil. I appreciate your take on things. You're bald. I loved when she said that to his face. She goes, "You're bald." He's like, "I heard you say that before." I'm Tim McGraw. Goodness sakes. Oh my gosh. And I seen that trifling comment, Joe. You had me laughing back here. That's funny. Rap career. The meet me outside girl. That's all I can think about is, or catch me outside. Sorry, catch me outside. Right? She's so little, though. I bet you nobody could catch her. She's just little. She'll just take off running down the alleyway. You won't catch her. See, that's why she says, "Catch me."
And Scott, if you could please introduce yourself by telling us where you go to school and what grade you're in.
I go to Glasgow Middle School, and I'm in 7th grade.
Excellent.
Outside, and thank you, Little Miss Sharon, for gifting a Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives membership. If you got a membership from Little Miss Sharon, please say thank you, and thank you, Little Miss Sharon. And welcome to the Dragon Tribe. I don't know who it landed on. Cockamamie, I love that word too. Norcal SoGal. It reminds me of like Annie from the that movie Misery. That's too funny. Mr. Man. You're bald. So now from Balin saying that, we tell people, go suck a pencil. Cash me outside. How about that? Oh my gosh, Magic Star. I love that you can put an accent in the chat. That's hilarious. She says, cash me outside. How about that? That little girl was bad. I'm telling you. No, I'm mean. Oh my God. You guys are trying to kill me up here. That's too funny. OMG, I just noticed I have a wrench. Norcal, you just noticed? I thought you was going to notice that the other day. I was like, I got to sneak in and give Norcal a wrench. There's one more person I got to catch up there from our lunch group, because I got to catch you guys outside so I can give you a wrench. She is a rapper now. She's a rapper. And she's mad as hell at Dr. Phil, let me tell you. Oh my goodness. She did make a lot of money off of that. Yes. Apparently that one ranch though, what is it? Turnabout Ranch, I think. I've heard like from other people, like really that it was a bad place. A lot of those places are bad. They're actually teachers. I identify with Dr. Phil's bank account, right? Oh yeah. And then Robin has like her own line of skincare products. Like I've never seen them around or anything, but I'm sure they're all in Hollywood. So she probably does pretty well on those, Please. Bandana looks like she can wrangle herself a sheriff with Democratic. Oh no. I wonder what he's kind of thinking with. I wonder if he's gotten calls from her, Cornbread Mafia was the straw for her, huh? She couldn't take it. She like took her mic off and she's like crying, and I'm like, I've never seen you cry over summer ever. Like even, let's just throw back again to Summer Wells. I mean, this poor little girl. But look at, this is Candace when she was talking to Chris McDonough. All of those facial expressions are Candace when she was talking with Chris and he was at her house, and she made sure to, push the barrel over. I'm sure he still noticed. He's very observant, She's looking at him, huh? She was just gone, she tells him. Lord have mercy. And, I know it's good to keep all these kids out in the spotlight. I mean, Summer, I still see people talking about Summer all the time. And I think that's so good, because if it was up to Don and Candace, the sad part is, again, I hate to say it, but
Marshalls, our buyers hustle 24/7 to get you great deals on the good stuff.
Hey, Holmes, find me a 3-bedroom home in Atlanta, near a Whole Foods.
Her name would not be out there, in my opinion. It's just incredibly sad. You can see the difference when you have a father who is relentless in the pursuit of justice, in the pursuit of finding his son. It's a complete night and day experience, right? Because they have never rallied together to find Summer. They've had people rally against them because people think they're involved, but they've never tried to hold a gathering of voices. Would we even have a gathering of voices if it wasn't for Seth and his pursuit of justice and finding his son? Because I really don't think that we would. I just don't. You have to advocate for your own kids. Because if you're not going to, nobody else is, unfortunately. So I think we have figured out here that people with a lot of money are weird. They are, Brenda. I'll tell you what. A little bit too much. And, it's very weird. Hello, wanna be sleeping something? Good to see you. Good to see you. I wouldn't, but yes, she's pretty, deserves a movie, questionable. Right, exactly. I'm like, I'm surprised people don't ask her to be in the movies, So then again, usually the first lady's usually doing something like going and reading to the kids and doing stuff like that, Phil Freemason. I'm not a doctor, but I do have a BA in BS. Nice, YouTuber. That's great. I'm gonna have to use that sometime. I'm not a doctor, but I do have a BA in BS, so don't test me. There's an actual film called Melania. If so, the impact I missed any news about it means my mainstream news fastly is highly effective. Or fasting. I know. I mean, I've done that too lately, KJ Mac, because there's just so much hurt and stuff in the world. There really is, Oh, that's awesome, Chuchi. Yay. Congratulations. We did it, Dragon Tribe. Oh, thank you guys. That is so amazing. Thank you. There's, sorry, I read that one. Autumn. No lotion fix her frozen face or bottom lip. Oh, no. I don't know what's with all of this plastic surgery people get, I just don't. So for anybody who is confused, it's very straightforward. Hello, Maui. It's very straightforward. Oh, great. Debbie says what? Thank you so much. Yeah, and what we're going to do, I want to be able to give something back to you guys and bring something cool back for my trip. So I believe in being realistic, but I also will have to just see my avatar or whatever. I mean, but kind of how we do it here. But last time I didn't, because I didn't know where I was going and I wanted to make sure I was, paying attention. So, but I'll let you guys know, when we're going to go live. I'd like to go live with Jen quite a bit.
An RNA interference therapeutic is a type of gene silencing medicine that interferes with.
Really awesome and safe. Everybody's checking hard sometimes because when I come into a live stream, that's all. And my heart does hurt for Seth too, Kiki. It really does. I had no idea that it was this bad, Yeah. Gigi, she shows up with no evidence to court, right? Not one piece, right? But then she's got Chris Proudfoot and his mom in tow. Unbelievable. Whose mom allows for that? Johnny Bravo. But he sure seems lucky as hell, in my opinion. Yeah, he does, Brenda. He sure does. But what is the deal? All Seth is saying here is that he wants people to not be swayed by distractions, to stay strong, that he's grateful for our efforts, that it's kind of like when we were going over the statement by the United Cajun Navy saying they don't want there's people that don't want Sebastian found. It's the same thing here. There's absolutely harassment going on towards Seth. And for what? And then she does it in the name of Sebastian. The audacity is just, I don't even know that there's words for it, Kiki, I'm not sure how old she is, but she looks like she's in her 60s, in my opinion. And I don't mean that to be rude, just, speculation. The recording is heartbreaking. It is, Detroit. But when you hear him speak, he is very articulate and smart. Yes. How dare they make everyone believe he was so impaired? I know. I don't know. It does make me angry, too, because we were looking for a totally different kid, weren't we, Detroit? Thank you, Gigi. 63, I think. Yeah, or 65. Yeah, that was my guess. Chris and Katie were busy stalking the searchers. They didn't have time to search for Sebastian. I agree with that. I do. I was referring to that earlier, Faye, with the tire slashing and stuff, because, Miss Texanna saying, oh, we need to be careful because the Seth's crew and vehicles. Well, to the best of my knowledge, nobody in Seth's crew has ever, nor would they ever, be so unhinged as to take it out on somebody's vehicle, that they're upset about the situation. There's a big difference between how people who support Seth act and how people who support Katie and Chris act. And in my opinion, it's a direct response, right? And there's a direct correlation to the way that Chris and Katie act and the way that Seth acts. The people who like to see a father searching relentlessly and tirelessly for his missing child are the people that Seth is going to attract. Just like Chris and Katie.
Are you ready to feel good about your body? LifeMD can help. Get started at lifemd.com.
Honest, clean, conscious diapers have up to 100% leak protection, a comfortable fit, and material that's gentle on baby's delicate skin.
Are going to attract people who want to see the drama and want to see Katie up on the panel acting a fool. Those are the people they're going to attract, So, she uses the AI. Oh, well, that makes sense then, That makes sense. Oh, Lolly. Okay. I was like, okay, I missed something. Seth never runs to the internet to show his victimizing being done. Yeah, I say that respectfully. He is an honorable dude. I agree, Sam. I mean, and even just the fact that he's not focused on it. But, again, when she's saying, well, I'm going to come to the gathering of voices where you're at. I mean, how can you not? I mean, even when you try to ignore people like that, it's difficult, especially if they're taking actions on it. Now, if this lady was just saying, stuff from wherever state she lives in, that would be a total different situation, right? Like people wouldn't even bat an eyelash. She'd be like, oh, well, that lady, she's always talking, but I mean, she shows up. It's kind of weird. So, you all are so beautiful. And so are you, Detroit. So are you. Yeah, Print and Cut does she allegedly have a wall that's a shrine with letters glued? Oh, Lord. I know. Kiki, I mean, this takes a lot of effort. That's such a good point. It takes a tremendous amount of effort with this lady. It's disturbing. Yeah, the fact that the others can't see through CP and KP's BS is like, what the F? I know. Little Miss Sharon, I'm so surprised always at the amount of people that are like, yeah. And then I'm like, well, you know, I guess they just like the other people in the chat and they want to impress them. Because I'm like, there's got to be a reason for that, you know? Yes, KJ Mac, exactly. Exactly. I'm glad Seth is focused on Sebastian and not pretending to create charities for the children of the world like Foot. No kidding. You know, and they've never done anything like that either, KJ. They have every resource at their fingertips. I mean, they could do that, especially with Chris, the way he travels. He could be putting up missing posters of his own missing stepson, but he chooses not to. You know, and that's what's so crazy to me, you know? It just really is. So, Jen, that's okay. I know. I had to figure, I forgot how old I was turning my last birthday. I was like, oh no, that's not a good sign. So, I'm like, oh no. Yeah, I know. Bling and BZ, this weather has been crazy. Green Hoodie and team wants everyone to forget about Sebastian and find other child. Well, that's my opinion too, Tully. That's why I got so angry when I saw those posts. I was like, oh, hell no.
The comment is stated by Tully Terrible Twist. Green Hoodie, and she's referring to me, and team wants everyone to forget about Sebastian and find another child. IMO, in my opinion. Interesting.
How could they expect Seth to be focused on that? And if that, and why would she address Seth when she could just ask Chris and Katie to do that, right? Don't they owe her one? Okay? That's all I'm going to say. NorCal SoGal says, I can't believe it's nearly 2 years anniversary of Sebastian's disappearance and how much I think about him and the circumstances and the case, and yet thinking what his father Seth must be going through. Well, and he's been going through just hell with this whole situation, and that's what's so crazy, you know, NorCal, because we don't hear Seth complaining, but if that was happening to Chris, he would be complaining all the time, right? Just nonstop. Oh, everybody's against us, they're bashing us, Okay, well, you know, I understand it happens. People do become unhinged and they do act out. I get it. I've had it happen to me. You know, some of us know exactly how that is. And it's not right, no matter who it happens to. But, you know, Seth just keeps going, you know, and again, it's just commendable with the way that he's handled things, because I don't know many people that would be able to continue on with that big load of crap every day that she's pulling, and, you know, everything he posts, even if it's a nice, heartfelt, you know, message to his followers or supporters, she's printing it out. It's unbelievably insane, you know. Well, stay warm, Miss Ann Brock. I hope you stay warm there. How would CP act if that was his daughter? It's sickening and sad that the way he portrays Sebastian. Yeah, and the relationship between Faith and Sebastian was a very inaccurate portrayal too, Detroit. I agree. And you know, really unfair and, in my opinion, false. I mean, yeah. Do you guys believe that Chris was behind the lawyer who the GoFundMe of Seth and disappeared? Oh, who dealt with the GoFundMe of Seth and disappeared? You know, I don't know. I think that Chris could have been behind a lot of these people. Like as if he said they were like, hey, get a hold of Seth, kind of a thing. I could definitely see that, Faye. Even on different levels, you know, like even in other instances, you know. So I wish I could think positively about Sebastian's mother, but as a mother myself, I can spot the issues, just like Lady Freedom. Yeah, and that's the thing, NorCal. You kind of, it's like with Katie, it's just so obvious. Like, you know, I kept waiting, and maybe I'm a fool because I was like waiting. I'm like, any minute Katie's gonna say something about Sebastian, right? Like she's gonna use her time on this platform to talk about her son. And I mean, Queen Bee had, I think, you know, about 1,000 people, you know, a little over 1,000 people in the chat. And I know a lot of people know about Sebastian that were in there, but you know, it does feel good. And what if he's out there listening? You know, what if he's out there listening and nothing? I mean, that would hurt so bad for any of us to hear our mom doing that, you know? Yeah, he did want him taken down, Tina. He did. He did. Oh, yes, Kiki, that is good news. Lady Good News, FBI is checking into DHS in Tennessee for abuse and also receiving so much funds. I told you it was weird that they even mentioned nonprofits allegedly. Oh my gosh. I'm wondering who all is going to be involved in that, if anybody is involved, you know. And that's the thing, guys, when we push a little bit, and
Kiki's statement is very interesting. Lady Freedom, good news. The FBI checking into DHS in Tennessee for abuse, also receiving so much funds. I told y'all. It was weird they even mentioned nonprofits, allegedly, in my opinion. Unfortunately, that particular statement has went both ways. It's been questioned on fundraising, on the events that have occurred, and on the dark side has been mentioned concerning particular YouTubers. And it has been addressed to several agencies, but it has not been made public of the results of those agencies because it's still confidential information addressed only to those who reported it.
talking about being hateful or, you know, hurting other people or harassing or stalking or anything. But when we put a little bit of pressure on the situation as the public, it's a good thing, right? Because it gets people aware of the situation that weren't, but then also it helps for law enforcement to see that we care, right? Because they do, you know, for lack of a better way to say it, work for us. And, you know, that's just kind of the way it is. Although I would like it to be more of a working together type of thing. So like if we send something in, you know, please look into it by all means. NorCal says on it, but you know, again, when she's saying, well, I'm about 1,000 people, you know, a little over 1,000, Nina.
Jen's Bucket is the all-in-one workspace.
Well, the battery's going to go off on the iPad. The main point that I wanted to make the second video about was to teach Texanna a lesson. When you look at the beginning of how everything started in person, lies from the beginning. It took two 2 years or more for Lady Freedom to admit that I was a certified educator. It took 2 years for the truth to come out about the fact I was not escorted off the property by the owners of the brewery, that I did not act inappropriately, that 8 people actually approached me at that vigil or gathering or event, whatever you want to call it, on August 8th, 2024. Now imagine being at an event, a live event, and having all these people approach you, and you didn't cuss, you didn't scream, but you had the balls to stay there and videotape, just like other people was doing. Chasing crime. Had her phone straight up in my behind, following me everywhere. Now, after 2 years, I can honestly state in this video, to go back and watch what happened that day is interesting. To have 8 people and 6 cameras on you from the time you step foot on a public event, and having eight people address you, threaten you, tell you that you cannot video, tape, or take pictures, but someone's following you around and doing that. Several people. And then you have out of the mouth, time and time again for the last 2.5 years. Well, she's crazy. She's a lunatic. She's unhinged. She doesn't have the right to say Sebastian's name. And for him to unglue and untext everything in the post. And then, what many people did not understand, the campaign to state that I was Green Hoodie and that I met up with Katie and that I participated in the kidnapping, disappearance, and the of Sebastian Rogers. You know, it takes a lot of patience to listen to someone tell you that over and over again and not answer them. It takes a lot of patience and willpower to wait until to teach her a lesson has come full circle. Now, the Sumner County Sheriff's Department interviewed Green Hoodie. And thank God they did not let out the correct name. Because I guarantee you that Mr. Rogers' team and his associates would have hounded that person like hell into hell. Because for 2 years, they have done that to me. They started the day I went to a public event, and they have not stopped yet. And there is peace in knowing that after all this time, that time has been the go-to for the foundations of the truth. See, when someone states in a live, for many people to view, we are going to teach her a lesson, you want to know how far that lesson goes. You want to know how far those threats will go. Now, the original threats were made in person, and there are police reports for those threats. There's a state agency report that went interstate from state to 2 other states concerning individuals that were at that public event on August 8th, 24. Why do you think the length of time for teaching me a lesson is there? That would be the question. Who am I that they have to reach so far to teach a lesson? Those are some good questions. And perhaps you can use your own knowledge of the circumstances and come to your own conclusions. So, she said, Lady Freedom, in her video, that the rambling of tampering with mail, clipping of videos of me being attacked by individuals in a video, threatening physical harm if I did not do immediately what I was instructed to do, people making fun of my physical looks, the way that I speak, the fact that I have a disability, and the total insane idea that they were going to hem up Green Hoodie and state that she kidnapped, created, or participated in the disappearance of Sebastian. And they were going to hand that woman over to law enforcement in the public view. That's what the team emphasized. That's what the team wanted to do. 2 years later, 2.5 years later, that team wanted to teach a person a lesson. They want so much to hem up someone for an unexplained disappearance that they were willing to crucify anyone because they just want anyone to pay. And it was like that from the beginning. So you have to be careful of what you believe when you listen on YouTube. Because, as you can tell, a lot of information just in those 2 or 3 videos, they were lies. And it took time for those lies to be proven that they're lies. They're fabricated. There are so many lies out there concerning this particular case. But when you try to teach someone a lesson, you don't keep the same narrative, or you don't keep it going further and further. And there is a particular topic when you speak to a group of people And that group has a narrative over and over again. And it has to be 2 or more people participating in it in order for it to create a pattern, in order to be established as total harassment, as cyberbullying, as cyber stalking, as defamation, as slander. To teach Texanna a lesson. How much farther of a lesson do you think you're going to carry? And I would be very cautious in answering that question. Because there's a reason why I'm putting this all together. All of the videos, why I'm responding. The narratives of the lies that you all have continually done for over 2 years. See, when you begin to harass someone and state in words that they participated in the disappearance and the kidnapping of a missing teenager, there's a problem. When a detective looks at that, all the videos together, all the actions of participation from Michelle Lee and Hong, stating that Texanna put anthrax in an envelope that was delivered to Lesniak. Do you know that your little group narrative accused me of a federal crime? Do you understand what you did? Do you understand what type of cyber stalking and harassment that is? Mr. Lesniak, do you understand that by giving At Night Media that package that was paid for overnight to At Night Media employees, do you understand what you did against your own oath? Do you understand that you participated in a group effort to destroy one person? And yes, you are liable for that action. But let's make it all make sense. To teach Texanna a lesson, you tamper with her mail. You clip videos of plaintiffs from a RICO case beating her up in a wheelchair in a clip video, attacking her in a bar with those same plaintiffs, tampering with her mail, participating in conversations that she put anthrax into a package that was addressed to Lesniak only. Then you, Mr. Lesniak, allowed your teammate to dox out my name, my person, on Twitter. Then he further collaborated with his subscribers, accusing me of putting anthrax in the package, which initiated a United States Postal Service investigation. So, doesn't sound like rambling to me, Lady Freedom. It sounds like to teach Texanna a lesson. Then, for the last several months, Lady Freedom and Seth, unfortunately, you participated in the chat. And that's the reason why I had to call the summer Sheriff's Department because you participated in that chat. So when the initial statement was made to teach Texanna a lesson, you can imagine how far this lesson has went. And still, I'm not going to answer your questions, Lady Freedom, because you don't deserve them. None of you deserve any answers. It's that simple. But the videos are there. The digital data is there. The documentation is there. The confirmation of the police reports are there. They're not incident reports. They're actual police reports. So, I think the lesson is going to be finished up pretty soon. And yes, Miss Gigi, it's going to happen all over again, so get prepared. The lesson was presented, but your lesson plan wasn't clarified. Because you went from an initial in-person threat to way out here in La La Land that I was a green hoodie and I participated in the kidnapping and disappearance of Sebastian. So, that is part of the journey. The journey is very complicated. Are there other videos? Yes, there are. And I'll be gathering them up. But I have more than enough evidence to do what I'm going to do. You all have a safe evening. And unfortunately, Lady Freedom, be cautious. All of us should be cautious. And you talk about hate. 2.5 years, over 2 years of physical threats made in public, ending up where we are today. What a sad situation. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.